If I choke in one of these races, will you do the Hockenheim maneuver on me? All right, we got Hockenheim coming up this week. I got power back, so I was able to do one of these laps, get some practice in. So hopefully I keep the power and be able to do some races. Ended up with a 141, 443. Hockenheim used to be one of my really strong tracks. I'm not so sure anymore. It felt really squirrely this time going around, but let's show you the fast lap I did. We'll go through how we ended up doing it, and then we'll give some final thoughts.
Your lap time was 141.44. Sector 3 time is fast.
All right, Hockenheim GP Porsche Cup fixed setup. Haven't touched the brake bias, anything like that. Got us a 141.443. Let's go through how we did it. First straightaway, full throttle. We're gonna brake around the 100 marker here. Just a light brake, just enough to get us slow down a little bit, and turned in. We're going down to fourth when we do that. Turn it in, just hold that little bit of brake pressure as we turn in, and then we're going to start getting back on the gas just a little bit. We want the weight shifted back when we hit this curb. We're going to hit it. Don't want to get like too far over, otherwise we'll hit the center underguts of the car, and that's not a good thing. Underguts is a technical term there, but we're back full partial power, and then we wait for the car to get settled in, then we can get full power back. Don't want to go much further over than we are here. This is about as far out as you can go, and you got to get back in before we go too far. But we are full throttle once again. The next braking point is going to be after the 150 here, just a smidge. We're going to start braking right after that, and we're going to get on the brakes pretty good. Can't brake as hard as we used to before the update. I used to, before the update, be able to hit 100% and then ease off real quick, but not so much now. We want to start downshifting pretty quick here too. We're aiming to get down to second. Don't want to go too fast, but be rapid and deliberate with your downshifting, I guess would be my advice. And then once we get down to second, we're going to start our turn in. Just hold that little bit of brake pressure as we come on around. Using that engine braking really helps us slow down, more so than when we're being slower with our downshifts. That's the idea there. And we're going to get back on the power a little bit as we come around here. It's really easy to get too much on the power here, as you can see with these nice black marks that I've put down on some previous laps. But we're just going to ease into it, and then we get back full power. And Still need to bring the car over a little bit so we can go through this next corner with a bit of speed, but we're just gonna get it over as much as we can. And this is a pretty open corner, so we can go through here like this, full throttle. We're not turning the car a lot when we do this. We're gonna go all the way to the outside as we come around here. Yeah, we're just, if we tried to turn harder through there, we would have had a bad time. We would have spun. But since we're coming around all the way out here, we can go full throttle. And then it's just full throttle through here until we get to the 150 at the end of this straight, which is going to be our next braking point here. Just a little bit before. I do a little bit before just to be on the side of caution, I guess. Pretty heavy on the brakes. I think we're getting like 80%, which after the update is pretty heavy on the brakes. So we're going to downshift pretty quickly to third. I found if I downshift too quickly to like a second and first, it causes problems for me. So we're gonna go a little bit slower on those last two downshifts. We're still pretty heavy on the brakes. We've eased up a little bit as we've come through here and lost some speed. If we keep that high pressure the whole time, it's going to lock up and cause us a bad time. And we're starting to turn in, we're getting down to first, and we're easing up on that brake pressure so we can get our turn going. If we keep that high brake pressure, we wouldn't be able to turn. And again, with that high brake pressure, turning it would just lock us up. We're just holding a little bit of brake pressure, trying to keep some weight on the front as we get this hairpin going through here. Then we're just gonna ease off and let it roll for a little bit. And we're coming back on the power. And then I found I had wanted many times coming out of this corner to get, like, I'd want to get full power here, or maybe even a little bit earlier, and it just causes you to have a bad time. It kicks the rear out too much. But we've come around and straightened out the wheel, let the car settle a little bit. We can get back on the full power. But I have a tendency to try and get it on too early there, so I have to fight that. Anyway, we can go full throttle through here. Going full throttle through here is, fine. We'll do it easy. We want to get out to the left, get the left wheels onto this here. I found the first couple laps I took practicing, it was a little sketchy coming through here full throttle, but I got used to it after a couple tries. This next section and the last little like double corner are the two toughest spots for me. So coming over through here, still full throttle, I'm gonna start braking around where this curbing starts. And we're trying to get down to second relatively quickly. Again, using that brake or engine braking to help us slow the car down. And then we're gonna turn in. Probably could have turned in a smidge later. But it worked out okay for us here. We're just holding that little bit of brake pressure as we come around, doing our trail braking thing. Then we're going to bring the throttle back. We're not going to come all the way around because we want to be on the left-hand side pretty quick here. And that would be just too far out if we went all the way to the edge. So we're full throttle again. We've straightened out the wheel enough where we're not going to spin when we do that. And we're going to get onto the left hand side here, and this used to be a lot easier for me. I just had to do a tiny lift. I've got to do a big lift now to this corner. So able to get away with like going down to a quarter. Sometimes I've got to lift like all the way off doing this, but we're just gonna hold that little bit of pressure, wait for the car to settle out, and then we're gonna put some more throttle in, and we're good to go here. I think we could have carried a little bit more speed because you can get your wheels kind of further out over here than what I do. That means I'm not pushing quite hard enough. But if I go harder, I haven't got the car control yet to really go harder on that corner than I did there. I think once or twice I was able to, but not with any kind of consistency. Our next breaking point is going to be where this concrete comes out here. So like right there is going to be our next breaking point. We'll get up to 5th before we do that, but then we're going to tap the brakes, just a little light braking zone here, and we're getting down to 4th, and we're going to turn the car in. We're going to wait till the midpoint of this corner here, so we're gonna get back on the throttle just a little bit, and then as we come out, we'll get the full throttle. We can come out pretty far onto this this curbing on the left here. It's not too bad stability wise, but it can be a little rough, so just be careful. Come back over, and our next braking point is a little bit before the 50 where the concrete changes colors there. And just hit the brakes. And we've got some nice banking through this corner. I'm getting down to 2nd when I come through here. Again, I'm trying to get my habits of using the engine braking to help slow the car down. That's one of the things I'm really working on this season, is using that to help me out. We're back on after the mid corner here. We're back putting some just a little bit of throttle in, and we gotta wait till we open up the wheel before we put the rest of it in. Open up, open up, open up, and there we go. Now, I used to come out over here. It really unsettles the car anymore, I've noticed. So I try not to get over there too much on these laps, but I'm just turn the car in, keep her going. This whole section here, be ready to lift a little bit if the car is being a little too squirrely on you. I've noticed, I've got to lift a little bit there. It felt a little like it wasn't happy. And then we're gonna hit the brakes as we kind of hit this part of the corner here. And this is one of the hardest parts for me. I've got to kind of change my way I'm thinking about this, but we're just gonna hold the little bit of brake pressure through here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do and what I'm trying to do, and they're two different things. I put a little bit of throttle in there because that's what my instincts tells me to do, but we want to hold the brakes really until we kind of get right about here. So I've got that little bit of brake pressure in, and then we're kind of getting back in it, and my instinct is telling me to just go full throttle, but we just want part throttle going through here. And then we're going to lift as we come around and point the car towards this apex over here. There we lift. We're just going to wait. Just so hard for me to do, and we're going to come back as we meet that curb with a little bit of throttle. And I'm fighting my instincts here. And then we get full throttle. And it's just full throttle the rest of the way. There we go, 141, 443. Right, so yeah, like I said, it's feeling pretty squirrely, and I used to feel really confident with Hockenheim, and maybe not so much anymore. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll do all right. I think the fast guys are going to be doing 39s or 40s. So we'll see if we can hold on here for dear life as we go around and try and keep up with them. I'm gonna be happy if I can do low 42s in the races. I usually bleed a bit of time between my practice on a Sunday night and the races I do on Tuesdays, and just the pressure of doing it in a race and trying not to screw up. When I'm practicing, I don't really care if I spin or hit a wall or something like that. Just all right, let's reset and go again. In the races, that option isn't there, so I kind of back out a little bit from what I can do if I'm pushing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it this week. Thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you didn't. I get that. And if you think I earned it, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Bye.